Hello everyone, it's Alessandra here. Welcome back. I trust you're all well and thank you for coming back and having patience with me when I disappear and I go into my silence. Because lately I've been going inside a lot and sometimes it just takes me and I need to go with that because that's where I get messages and that's where I get the movements forward. I've just come back from a walk which grounds me and I went foraging because I like going to find things in nature. There's so much magical herbs that you can find even around you. Even if you're living, if there's a park, you'll find a lot of things. And I found some dandelions, so look them up because they're very good for you. And I'm very happy because I was able to get some roots, which are not easy to pull out. But at the same time, it's reconnecting me all with nature, with where I come from, where everything starts, because Mother Earth is a living being and it's living with us and through us. We're expanding it as much as we can right now, but there's a lot of constraint and there's a lot of tension and there's a lot of also feeling that pressure. And so there's a lot to let go of. And on that note, I've been asked what triggers are because I use these in my sessions as an example, two mirrors, and they're being triggered. And the two mirrors that are in a relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, a global relationship between countries, communities, people, groups, or family, everything is a mirror to us. The mirror is reflecting back what we need to adjust, heal, let go of. And right now we're seeing two mirrors that are contrasting each other. And what we're doing is we're also going through the karmic healing of planet Earth. And with it, every single individual will be triggered by situations, events, and people, whether in their personal life or on the larger scale. When you are triggered, it means that you need to look at why you are being triggered. Why is it bringing back memories, especially in relationships? What is it that it's bringing back to you? Where does it start? Because a mirror is reflecting all the good things that you've learned, so you get a lot of appreciation, kindness, whatever you're expanding out into the world and you're giving yourself and what you have learned will ripple out and come back likewise. But if you're also being tested with relationships and people in the community, but mostly we notice these things in personal relationships, then you have to understand that that person on the other side that you think is doing something wrong is actually reflecting in your mirror an unhealed wound that you have. And at the same time, you are doing exactly the same to a wound that they have not healed. So when you can understand what you want, what are the values that you want to see in your relationship, and let's look at it on a personal level. What are the values that you want to see in a personal relationship? Well, you may make a list of 10 things, and I do suggest that you do that. And by making that list, then you notice that you have a beautiful list of values, and you start saying, yes, but that person that I'm with right now is not giving me this, this, and this. And the thing is, you see, those things that that person is not giving you are the exact things that you need to look at inside of yourself, because it means that that part of you has not healed. Otherwise, you would not be triggered by those actions that the other person is taking. And you at the same time, if you ask your partner to do the same thing, you will notice that then they come up with their own triggers. And those are the things that you do to trigger them that shows them not that you don't love them or can't be with them. And sometimes relationships are not meant to be to last. But that's where you need to look to grow the relationship, first with yourself and then with the other person. And together find a balance that instead of reacting to the triggers as you usually do, that's the lesson. If you can diffuse the triggers by stepping back and reacting in a different way and understanding that it's just showing you something that, yes, the other person is doing it, but you are triggering in them the reaction. So when you can understand that you no longer see it as something that someone else is doing to you, but something that both of you are doing together, and the only way to grow from it is by stepping away from the triggers, trying to understand where it started. So going back and seeing how many times have I experienced this same thing? Why is it that every relationship that I go in, they look so good at the beginning, they're fantastic, and then all of a sudden I'm getting back the same stuff? Well, would you go into a relationship knowing that it would be the same exact pattern, only to test you to see how much you've learned from the previous relationship? Of course you wouldn't. You have to see it as something brand new, that honeymoon. And you go, he's so different, she's so different. She speaks to me, she listens to me. But then after a while, the old patterns come through. And that's when people go, but why? Because both of you have an opportunity in every single relationship to find more balance. And it doesn't mean that the triggers will never exist. The life lesson is you will always be tested with triggers. All you have to do is see them as such, as red flags, and then step back. Now, if the other person is not willing to work with you to do that, then of course that relationship will feel unstable. And in the end, those are the ones that may not work, or you compromise too much to stay in something like that. But most of the time, if you can understand that and do your own side of the healing, then you will no longer throw those triggers out. And when you do feel them, you'll step back and react differently. Or you'll understand that it's about loving yourself. What am I missing? I'm not being respected, but am I respecting myself? I'm not getting kindness, but am I being kind to myself? Now, I'm giving you an example on a small scale, personally, in your relationships. You extend it out and it works the same with everybody else. And it works with communities and it works on a larger scale. So when we look at it that way, we are understanding that Mother Earth right now is doing that same thing. It's got a duality within it. It's trying to make that balance in what's happening on the surface and outside. And it's showing us where to look. Now, I don't want to go any further in that because I could keep going, but I think I've given you enough for today to understand what triggers are. And then next time I'll possibly talk about red flags. But now I'm going to pick a card. But today I'm going to pick a card. I've chosen to pick a card from these beautiful goddess cards. And the author is Claudia Olivas. I think Olivas Studios. Hopefully I've pronounced it right. She has beautiful cards, if you can see. And I'm going to pick one from here and see what comes through. So it's just an omen for today. And I love them because they have, apart from her own paintings that are beautiful, but at the same time, I just love the messages as well most of the time. Always spot on. So I'm going to pick a card. Okay, I need to put these there. They're dropping off my lap. Priestess of Healing Waters. Right, it's a beautiful response to today. The Priestess of Healing Waters. Yes, water always heals. Water is the purity. Water is the cups, so emotions. And this priestess, look at the beautiful colors. She is saying to us that the waters right now are healing. So our emotions need to be healed on a global scale. She's the priestess that is inviting us to look closely at what's going on in our own lives, because it starts from us. So within ourselves, start healing those things within yourself. And then you will notice that the outside world will reflect back a better vision. That's all it is. Everything starts from within. And if I can invite you to do some meditation, just the 5 minutes focus on the breath to connect with your inner being, that will always guide you in the right direction. And she's inviting you to do just that because she's the priestess. But she's also saying we are all in connection with our own I am presence within. And then we will realize that every single person on the outside is the same I am. It's just that it's taken on a different body, different personality, different life. It's gone through its own challenges, but it's a perfect mirror match to us because everything is a duality we need to learn. So it's a to and fro. It's like the bamboos. They are pushed on one side by the wind and then on the other side by a storm, but they always come back into the center. And that's what naturally we need to look at. Right now, we're being pushed in all directions. And this priestess is saying it's a time for healing, letting water flow through everything that's happened in the past, in the present, in the future, we obviously are bringing forth from this now moment. Stay here in this moment. Let go. Let go and let the water flow. Let it purify. Let it heal every aspect of your own life. And then you will notice that it heals everything around you. I am looking at things globally. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of everything. But I can also see the two mirrors in front of each other. And those two mirrors are humanity looking in the mirror of the other side. But why is it that we can't go in the middle and find that balance? Is another story, because that's where unity is found, where there's unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, and unity of all souls, because we are one in the I Am presence. I love this card. It's a beautiful card, and I do hope that the message has reached you. And forgive me if I go into my own initial rambles, but I've been asked questions, and so I think bringing them forth like this makes more sense to me, because at least I can give it out to other people that might be looking at it and need the answer in this way. For today, I will leave you, and I thank you for dropping by. Until next time, I thank you and have a great day.